But like her and Rickie were like oil and water and they did not get along at all. At all. So like whenever they stayed friends after, I was just like, why though? And then they told me, well, because she's actually changing. And I'm like, no, she's not.
You're obsessed with Karina Kaboom.
What's wrong with Karina Kaboom? She's a nice lady.
You're kidding, right?
What are you doing out here?
Oh, people are taking this as a Kermit. No, it is a Kermit by the very definition. It is a Kermit.
Hello everybody. In today's video, we're taking a look at part 1 of Casey and Beck's live stream on Casey's new channel. Please subscribe to Casey's new channel. I will leave you a link in my description box. If you open it up, it'll be there for you. And please subscribe to Beck's channel as well. So basically, Casey and Beck spilled some very interesting information on Amber and on their experiences with Amberlynn. And we're going to get into it. You know who was surprised? My Kermit. Have you ever wanted to purchase a Kermit? Well, now you can in my game show host voice. So basically, this is an affiliate link, my affiliate link to purchasing a Kermit, because you know my Kermits are always in the middle of all the drama. So let me know when he ships for you so I could be excited for you. All right, everything I'm saying is just for entertainment purposes only. Nothing is meant to be taken seriously. Please do not go to these people's channels and leave mean-spirited, negative, disparaging comments. I'm sharing my own opinions, not facts, on publicly accessible information first made public by public figures. Amberlynn, karma is a Kermit. All of your Kermits are coming to roost or whatever. You did this to yourself by trashing people and making up stories about your ex-partners.
I mean, you know, I don't like to keep bringing up the boys, but like her and Rickie were like oil and water and they did not get along at all. At all. So like whenever they stayed friends after, I was just like, why though? And then they told me, well, because she's actually changing. And I'm like, no, she's not. And then they finally saw for themselves, which I don't know, that I heard, you know, rumors that they became friends with her again. I'm not sure exactly what happened with all that. But anyway, like she just like she absolutely would hate these people. And then like whenever she and her ex splits up, she still tries to stay in these other people's lives that she supposedly hated. This would tell me if I would be in California and I wouldn't be talking to any of you guys, and I wouldn't be talking to I would never talk to anybody my size.
Were you together at this time?
Yeah. And I was like, so basically, just think about me deep down, I knew that she wasn't into me, but like deep down, I honestly wasn't into her anymore either, because it's like I was her caretaker.
All right, so obviously the truth has come out now about Eric and Rickie. Basically, they did not get along with Amberlynn. Amberlynn continuously lied for years. Amberlynn, your audience is very intelligent. It's palpable how much you guys did not get along in the videos that were uploaded on various channels. And Amber would say, no, they're my friends. They love me so much. Apparently not. You heard what Beck said. Beck was the one that lived there and doesn't have a history of lying, so I believe Beck. So for those of you that always wondered, why did Amberlynn get portrayed a certain way on certain people's channels? This is why. Obviously, certain people did not care for you, and now the truth comes out. So Amber lies about people loving her. This is just like, you know, when she says, oh my God, my animals are like obsessed with me. My dog, my cat loves me so much. They depend on you for food. Relax yourself, Pookie. My point here is this. I think it's sad that she has to make up stories that everybody loves her. And as far as what, because listen to what I'm going to tell you. Amberlynn continuously lied for years on end, for 4+ years, saying that they liked her so much. Apparently, if my Kermit hadn't retired, he would determine that was a lie. Okay. So at the end of the day, this whole thing about how Amber was saying that if she was different, she'd be living in California and she'd never date Beck. That is terrible. It's sad and cruel, and you deserve everything that's coming towards you, Amberlynn, with being exposed. Do you understand what happened? So Amber said if I was different and I, you know, was a different person, I'd be living in California. I'd never date somebody like you, Beck. And she said this to them while they were dating. So yeah, of course, Beck's feelings changed for you because they had to help you in the lavatory and clean your neck. What kind of a romantic relationship can you have in that situation? And that happened pretty much right away and lasted, as Beck told us in the other live stream, pretty much up until they broke up. So honestly, what you said to Beck is cruel. It's unnecessary. So Amber would never date someone like her, but meaning like herself, like meaning like Amber's pretty much saying she wouldn't even never date somebody like herself. But yet, doesn't Amberlynn always say in all her videos that it's shallow not to date somebody like her? Yeah, Amber. What you did on a human basis is just terrible. Like basically like human to human, woman to woman. I'm going to tell you, Amber, what you did to Beck is just sick. It's just sick. Not only torturing them with your ridiculous choosy games where their arms hurt, but to say that I would never date you if I like was different, if I was a totally different person, that's just cruel and done to keep Beck down and degrade them and, you know, keep control. It's terrible.
So it's like all of that, all those feelings were gone and out the window very quickly. Like, all romantic feelings, it took a really long time for them to fully develop in the first place. Like, I liked her. She kind of pushed me into the relationship, you know, because I wasn't exactly there, but she was like, well, I've got people in mind that date me. And I'm like, well, I don't want to lose you yet. So, like, when I thought I was going to lose her, she just barreled right through, pushed me into the relationship. So my feelings came later. But then once I started having to constantly do everything by myself, is whenever my feelings just sort of left. And I just felt like I was taking care of a friend.
You know, I have to also say, as far as the Eric and Rickie and Amber's friendship, like Amber did not care for Eric and Rickie. You heard it here, okay? Beck said it, but still continued to try to have a friendship with them when she was with Wifey and in general. My opinion, when you don't like someone, you try to be their friend, it's because you're desperate. So Amber continuously tried to befriend Eric and Rickie, even though she did not care for them. That's terrible. That's not a real friendship. And eventually, you know, those relationships did not work out, as you know. But it's very terrible to be like, oh, well, now I'm with Wifey. I have no friends. Beck left. Now I need to get all the tea on Beck. And now I need to befriend people that I don't really like and never got along with in the first place. As far as Amberlynn pushing her way into the relationship and pretty much forcing her way and saying, well, you know, we need to be in a relationship, Beck, because like when they first met, oh, well, you know, there's so many people that want me. I don't believe you, Amber. I don't believe so many people wanted you. You were barely known on YouTube. So people are interested in Amber because of her YouTube status at this point. Please don't make any, you know, Kermits about it. So I think that she knew that Beck wasn't interested in her and just made up a story that she had all these people, all these people waiting for her in the wings, but in reality, not even a Kermit. So it's sad. You manipulated your way in, you staged your way in with manipulation, and now you want for people to hear your side, Amber. I don't think so.
Mom was supposed to get this money from my dad's work because it was like a stock that had built up over the years and it got released. So it got split up between me and my sisters. And whenever I got it, I was like thinking, you know, I can put this back for, you know, anything. And Amber was like, no, we need to use it for bills and stuff. And she was just like, you know, honestly, thing up to this point. So you kind of owe it.
Yeah, so Amber said, I've been paying for you up until this point, so you kind of owe me your mom's inheritance money. Imagine stealing a deceased person's money that was meant for their child. It's super bad to me. Like, it's just like awful. And by the way, I want everybody pay attention because Casey is about to have the same story that Beck has. Amberlynn has a history of taking partner's money, stealing partner's money. And all I have to say is, Pookie, was it worth it to trash these people on the internet, to make up stories about them so they could tell the truth about you? You can answer that in the dislikes down below. Amber, we know you never watch reaction channels.
Then she also said on live, which I was wanting to talk about this at some point anyway, but her live last night, you know, she was just like, we bought the bed. No, we bought the bed before I got the settlement. We bought the bed before my mom passed away. And asked how much we all put in for the cabin. And she said it was like 160 something. And then all we did was we went and ate at Paula Deen's. We went to a Christmas store. And then we went to Walmart and sat in the cabin for the rest of the time while my family went and did other things.
Tack on another 20,000 for pain and suffering.
Yeah. Something else. She always told me that stuff with me and it got less views. So that's why she had me stop being in them. I didn't watch the videos back or anything. I didn't watch anything she ever posted.
First of all, the lie about the bed. Look, Amberlynn said in her members only live stream that I talked about that, oh, well, I bought Beck a bed that they demanded and it was 6,000 and my mom couldn't believe about the 6,000 that I would be spending on Beck and I never slept in it. Yeah. Okay. So what? So what that you purchased a bed, okay, that you probably did sleep on. I don't even believe you, but that's not the point. You took the inheritance money on top of that. As far as this whole thing about Amber demanding that Beck stop being in videos, this is my theory on it, my opinion. I think that when Beck was in the videos, it was incredibly clear that these two people had no romantic chemistry and there was nothing going on, while Amberlynn continued to push the narrative that things were going on. And the thing is that you could really see, I've said this before, Amberlynn believes that people cannot feel it, that it's not palpable what's going on in any of her relationships when she puts them on camera. I think she didn't want Beck to be on camera because more of the audience could see exactly what was going on in their relationship. All right. So Casey's about to tell a very important story that I believe he did say before, but it's really important that everybody here understands that Amberlynn takes money away from her partners in the worst way.
So when I was younger, when my nana was still around, she would give me birthday money, right? The way. This was my 17th birthday. And I go to pay for them and she gets a little attitude. And I'm like, well, what's wrong? And she was getting mad that I was getting both games. And God, she's just like, if you get both those games, I'm going to be so mad at you. And I was like, what? What do you mean? Like, I couldn't understand. Like, I was just like, but I really want to get these 2 games. Like, and it's my birthday money. And I'm thinking like, did I offend her? Did I not offer her something? And so I ended up getting 1 game. And I was so sad, but I ended up getting 1 game and I was like, what do you like? Why are you mad at me over it? I don't understand. And I didn't understand. Like, but it was now that I'm older, I was like, okay, she wanted me to use that money on her.
So Amber demanded Casey's birthday money also for herself and only allowed terrible control and manipulation since she was a teenager. Terrible. Basically only allowed Casey to buy 1 game. Now, I know that Amberlynn will say, oh my God, I was a teenager. But you have the same pattern of mistreatment. You literally went and demanded Casey's money and then you demanded Beck's money. Very bold of you, Amberlynn, to demand Casey's money when his mom was supporting you. This is it's not even, I want to say it's a red flag, but it's not. It's very indicative of who she is as a partner.
It's like, I get it because that was me at one point. I didn't want to come back. I didn't want nothing to do with it. I wanted to forget that it ever happened. I never wanted to have to think about it ever again. And then it's just like she just wouldn't stop. And I'm like, well, now I guess I'm just going to re-traumatize myself and drag you through the way you deserve.
So there's your proof that the reason that this is happening to you now, Amberlynn, is because you would not leave Beck alone. For years in 21, in 22, in 23, in 24, and even in 25, Amberlynn trashed Beck extensively, saying that they're a liar, saying embarrassing things about them, just saying terrible things about them, being asked by Beck publicly and privately to not talk about them. And Amber would say, oh, well, I'm not talking about them, blatantly lie, or literally going around and saying, well, it was my relationship too. It was my experience. Amber, you were asked to stop talking about Beck. Now, I have to ask Amby something. Was it better when you weren't being exposed, or is it better now? You did this to yourself.
I really forgot about having to dig and remember. And I'm just like, oh my God, I can't believe that I went through this and I stayed.
It took me a long time not to feel dumb about it because it's like, you don't, in the moment, you're just like, oh, I care about this person. I'm not gonna,
Right.
It's maybe like I can care about them enough to divert this kind of treatment and it doesn't work.
Right. And it's like you were put in sort of the same position of her grandmother kicked her out and she had nowhere to go.
She was supposed to come visit me for the month of November, be around for my birthday and Thanksgiving, and then go back home. That obviously did not happen.
Yeah.
So my mom even talked to her mom, and her mom said, like, yeah, Amber can't come back.
That's wild. And it's like even your own family don't want you to come back. And it's like there has to be a reason why. There's a common thread.
Agree with that. I really agree with that. Please, everybody listening, consuming this video, understand this is when Amberlynn Reid was an adult. This is not when she was a child. As an adult, she was kicked out of her house, and Grammy and Mommy didn't want her to be there because obviously nobody could stand to be around Amber because Amber is doing things to them that is terrible. Now Amberlynn pretends that she has an all happy family. Yeah, when you live on your own and can pay for things for anyone that comes into contact with you. The point is not that she got kicked out, because I know whenever I say this, people are like, oh, well, it's not right. Listen, it's not right that she's lying about her family, okay? Why are you going around, Amber, and saying that everything's amazing in your family? These are people that wouldn't even let you have shelter, and then look at what happened. Look at what happened to you, right? You were living with Casey, and his mom was supporting you. Then you were living with Destiny, and Crystal and Destiny supported you, and Crystal went ahead and supported you, her parents, and then Destiny was supporting you, and then you started working on YouTube. So you were the high and mighty one. Oh, well, I took care of Beck. The bottom line is what you hear Casey and Beck talk about here is that you were kicked out of your homes. And on top of that, Amber told Beck, well, I have nowhere to go. Please take care of me. And Casey was kind, right? He was very kind. Beck was very kind. They let you stay with them, and then you've done nothing wrong and you tortured them. And she's ruined Casey's life. That's my opinion. Publicly, what she's accused him of never came on and did a proper redaction. I used the wrong word. No. This is not okay. Amber, you are the common denominator. What is amazing to me is she continues to go on the internet and say everything's great with her family when you live alone and can pay for stuff.
And you will not realize it. But that's what I'm saying. She did the same thing to you that she had done to me. She was like, I don't have any family. I don't have anybody else. You are all I have. I need you. And I'm just like, that's so true. And I can't just leave her to her own devices because she can't survive on her own.
I know. And so, and then you do the good thing and go like, okay, you know what? I'll be here for you.
But I mean, if you look at her patterns with who she chooses for her partners, they're always really kind, quiet, timid people. Every single one of us. But well, Destiny wasn't really all that quiet, but Destiny was very kind, like to me anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like everybody else that she had dated was just took care of her, was so good to her. And then whenever we break up with her, we're awful. We did this and that to her. And she's just got something bad to say about every single person she dated.
And that she never did anything wrong.
Totally understand that when people break up, they have negative things very often, not every time, but very often to say about like their partner. They're not public figures. They don't spend years monetizing it, getting content out of it. Amberlynn, you are reaping what you kermit. Karma is a kermit, okay? You went ahead and you trashed all of your exes repeatedly. Destiny, you trashed. Casey, you trashed. Beck, you trashed. I suspect there's reasons why you won't trash Tommy publicly or wifey. And I suspect there's definitely reasons. But you know what, Ambi? One day, other people are going to come back. I have a feeling this is not the beginning. This is not the end. This is just the intermission. When other people come to expose what you did, look, we know exactly what happened between you and wifey. We got a little glimpse from Alexis, never mind that it was obvious. So I think that there are people that she dated that were very intelligent, like wifey. And I think there are people that did take control, like wifey, and, even Tommy. And I think at the end of the day, Amberlynn, this is just the intermission. I can't wait for the second act.
No, she was making a lot of money. A lot of money. Like, I didn't even really know how much she had. All I know is that at one point in 1 month, she had made like 20,000. No idea how either.
She didn't tell you, huh?
No.
Oh my God.
Like, I've been finding out so many things lately that I did not know about. I'm so excited. So excited. Like, it's just so shocking. Things I had no idea.
Yes, I tried to tell you guys for a really long time the amount of money that she made, and there was a bunch of people that just wouldn't believe me. I have absolutely no reason to tell you that she's making money or not if she's not. I work here. I've worked here for as long as Amberlynn has. I know exactly how much she's making now, around about. And so, like, the way that money is like, as far as money is concerned on YouTube, it depends on how much money you get paid per thousand RPM, CPM. Okay, but I suspect Amberlynn got extras from some people that maybe she sent some videos to. Just my opinion, not a fact. That's why she wouldn't tell you, Beck. Also, the bottom line in this situation is I've always said the way that YouTube views work. So there's two ways to make money with YouTube views. If your video gets a lot of views fast, that's more money. That's always more money. If you have a video that starts growing after it's been stagnant or dormant for a while, that's also another way to make money. But let me put it to you this way, if a video gets to 40,000 views in a year, it's not going to be the same thing as if a video gets to 40,000 views in a day. You understand what I'm saying? Amber used to get 100,000 views fast in 1 day to 2 days. What Beck is saying is correct. I try to tell you 4 years that she was making wild money, and some people didn't believe me. Maybe you believe me now.
Now I had no idea. Definitely, it was full on manipulation.
Was that a pattern for her? Like, if you guys got into a fight or an argument, it would end with her crying and apologizing, but
Yeah. Yeah. Always
were her apologies often very much we both did this thing, or is there ever a time that you can remember where she was like, I was at fault, I shouldn't have done that?
Oh, that's a good question.
No, usually it was me having to say I was sorry first. And I knew that I shouldn't even really be apologizing, but it's just I knew that was going to be the only way to make her not keep arguing and pushing, is to just be like, okay, I'm sorry. How do we fix this? And then she'd be like, yeah, I'm sorry that I made you feel bad. But she actually never really was sorry, because it would just happen again.
Yeah.
Aware of me and what I would or wouldn't be able to say on live streams until we got toward the end. Whenever I started getting sassy and stuff, I didn't care then. Or doing a sit down video, there was a lot of pausing and being like, okay, so don't say this, you can say this, and then there would be other times where she's just like, why don't you try to say it more peppy? Why can't you act like you're actually having a good time? And it's because I've told you over and over, time and time again, I just really don't want to do these things. And she's like, okay, yeah, but you're my employee, so
what?
You're going to be in these videos.
God.
Beck was hired publicly and privately as Amber's employee to be in the videos, and without Beck in the live streams in 2021, Amberlynn would not have earned what she earned. Amber, you owe Beck money, and whether or not Beck can recoup the money realistically is up to the laws in the state that they were in, and it's up to whatever lawyer, because at the end of the day, there was a public verbal contract it's videotaped. It's in Amber's live stream called, I believe it's called Pluto. So I don't understand what the problem is, but obviously it's very difficult to recoup earnings. I understand that. At the end of the day, as far as the manipulation and the financial mistreatment, Amber always manipulates people. I mean, okay, she always manipulates people, and she thinks that the people around her don't see it. Everybody sees it, Ambi. Also, when you don't change your behavior and you apologize for it, it's just a fake apology. And you see Beck had to say, well, I'm sorry first, even though they weren't even sorry. Honestly, Amberlynn, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, the torturous conditions that you put people through. And you know what? Your karma is a Kermit, okay? Your chickens and Kermits are all coming home to roost.
This friend, I call her my cousin, because she pretty much took me on. I was a freshman and she was a senior, and she pretty much took me under her wing and taught me about what?
Nothing. Go ahead.
And taught me about life, and a lot of it. If I didn't she helped me get my GED, and everything. Like, she's my best, one of my best friends. And when Amber was living with me, she had it in her head that I'll never have, never will, never even saw her that way. And so every time I would go to hang out with her, I would, say, hey, can I go hang out with my friend? And she's like, first she would be like weird about it. And then afterwards she was like, yeah, go ahead. And I was like, okay, you're not gonna get weird like you did last time, right? Like, you're not gonna be like messaging me and everything like that, being all mad and weird. And she's like, no, I won't. Okay. So I go hang out. And this happened multiple times. I go to hang out with my friend. And then, like, less than probably like 45 minutes, at least 30 minutes, I get text messages, you need to come home right now, or else I'm going to get on a bus and leave you, and everything like that. And I was still, a teenager at the time doing all that, just wanting to hang out with friends. And
Right.
I couldn't, because she would be messaging me, I'm going to leave you if you don't come home right now. You have 3 minutes to get home. You have 5 minutes to get home, or else I'm going to get on a bus. You'll never see me again. Blah, 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 blah.
Manipulation and lies. Amber, when you answer this, you're going to say that you were young and so you made mistakes. You made the same mistakes when you were in your 20s and 30s. You're making them now, right? Didn't you just get dumped recently? Although I still believe there's something going on between her and, her ex over there. Yeah, Amber is a jealous, insecure person who literally just recently messaged a random person on the internet because they dared write Tommy a message. So you are the same person you were before, as evidenced by what I just said. The behavior is the same. Honestly, Casey, I don't think you would have had to worry about Amberlynn getting on a bus. She, where was she going to go? Oh, right, to her family's house, who kicked her out as an adult. Right, so this is Amber's whole response to this, to basically Casey and Beck doing this live stream and all that stuff. I will say one thing. Amberlynn is an opportunist and a manipulator. She'll tell you things in this community page post that she completely argued against in her members only live stream. Before we read this, please remember that in the members only live stream, she said she wanted to do a public live stream, not members only, where anyone can ask her absolutely anything and she will take accountability and respond, right? You ask anything, she'll respond publicly. Remember that Amberlynn is an opportunist and a manipulator. What does that mean? If she genuinely, truly wanted to respond to what Beck was saying and take true accountability and apologize, she would have immediately responded to it on her channel. She wouldn't have waited until live streams that are private and you have to pay $10 a month. They're not open to the public. You have to pay $10 a month to see them. And in the live stream that I just recently talked about, her members only live stream this past Tuesday, she said she was doing a public live where she was going to respond to everything. What she has done is waited a very long time to respond. And as she will tell you in this community page post, it will all be completely behind a paywall. That's not a response. That's not taking accountability. Also, Amberlynn Reid has no idea what taking accountability is. This is what she believes it is. Hi, I take accountability. I did certain things. I'm sorry for them. I treated you bad, but you did this, and that. And that is what she continues to say about Beck and about all her exes. Most of them, at least. And that is not taking accountability. She just thinks, because it's a cool buzzword on the internet, she thinks that if she says, I took accountability, that's enough. No, just saying that you're taking accountability and saying, yeah, I did some of these things and I'm sorry, but this person did all these other things and they're lying and exaggerating. That is just excuses. You're just the same person you always were. You never changed. Here is her ridiculous statement. After thinking about it and getting the opinion from family, friends, and my therapist, what friends? I'd love to know. I'm not bashing her for not having any friends because I think it's great actually not to have friends. A lot of people are loners, people move around. In this case, it bugs me because she lies about having all these friends. We know Eric and Rickie are not your friends anymore, right? Supposedly. And we also know that you lost Alexis. Your opinion of your family, mommy who drives you around. Okay. So I just think it's wrong for her to lie and say that she has friends when she doesn't. It's okay not to have friends, but to continue to lie and say you have friends is ridiculous. It's the lie that bothers me, not the not having friends. And all of the stream queens I love and adore, I have decided I will no longer be silent in a situation where silence isn't the answer and silence is only causing me pain. Come on now, tell us what you really think, Chad GPT. causing me pain and allowing stagnancy in a place where I want to heal, grow, and move on. I will share my side, but I will only be doing that in my members only live streams. If you want to join, click the link below. This is all a cash grab to you. You tortured Beck. You did. Amber, as woman to woman, as a human being to another human being, I'm telling you, you tortured them. And what you did to Casey blows my mind. I don't like to get into what you did to Casey, but accusing somebody of what they did not do and ruining their reputation forever, they should have sued you, okay? And then coming back and saying, I used the wrong word. What you mean you used the wrong word? No, no, no. At the end of the day, she's doing it only in her members only live stream. So you have to pay the money to see it, and no one can really repost it. I'm not reposting her members only live streams because it is against the terms of service. You have to join the members only live stream. Okay. So I want to make it very clear this will not be a place to bash Beck, to insult Beck, or to invalidate Beck. Of course not. You've already done that. It is going to be a place for me to be accountable in the wrongdoings I have done by being open about them, sharing what I did, and sharing what I could have done differently. If you guys don't subscribe to her only members stream the way that I do, I'm telling you, she bashes Beck in every single one of her lives. I promise you that. If you don't believe me, there's other people that are doing this, probably talking about, just go and Google it and go and see if what I'm saying is true or not. But y'all know that she does bash Beck in the members only live stream. Amber, do you not have any embarrassment towards pretending that you will not bash Beck when you do so every Tuesday? It's also going to be a place for me to share my point of view of situations that I remember differently, because as wrong as I was in a lot of situations with Beck, it is wrong to lie and exaggerate things that are not true. There you go. There you go. She's not going to bash Beck, but she's already saying yet again for the billionth time in a row in this community page post that Beck is lying. Amberlynn, if it is wrong to lie, why did you lie about Casey? I used the wrong word. Why do you continue to lie on your channel, make monetized content stating that you lied on your channel? So you're wrong all those times that you lied. When you told us that wifey was two different people for almost 2.5 years, that was wrong of you. Where's your apology? It's amazing to me when somebody who is a known liar to accuse somebody else of lying. Beck is not lying. You see what she's saying? This is a manipulation tactic, right? When she says, it's also going to be a place for me to share my point of view where situations I remember differently. See how she says she remembers it differently? This is a manipulation tactic. Well, I remember it differently. Amber, it only happened one way, and clearly not the way you said it. I will not be doing this to be believed. Exactly. Well, at least you know. I will not be doing this to have more people on my side. You have nobody on your side. Not even truth is on your side. This isn't about that. This is about finally allowing myself to publicly be accountable, to stand up for myself. You can't be both. Okay, so there's the problem. If you're going to be held accountable, that means that you did wrong, and even if somebody might have did you wrong a little bit, you're accountable for the majority of the bad things you've done. You want to say, I did this, but they did that, and this person did this, and they're not perfect either. Amber, we see right through this facade. I stand corrected. It's not a facade, because a facade is something that you need to see through. This is just blatantly you wanting to bash Beck for $10 a month from your audience. And obviously, now that she put up this feeler, I got all this tea, but I'm not going to spill it yet. I'm going to spill it very soon for $10 a month. Of course, she thinks that people are going to join. This is very disingenuous. If you want to publicly get your money, even though I don't think your stuff should be monetized if you're responding to what you did to somebody, but if you want to publicly respond, all right, whatever, it's always a cash grab with her. Like it's terrible. This isn't about that. This is about finally allowing myself to publicly be accountable and stand up for myself. Two things can happen at once. I could be accountable for A, B, C, D. Oh, wow. Now we're in Amber's element, while also clarifying that L, M, N, O, P are not true. Do not let those two things get mixed up, please. As much room as Beck is getting to share their truth, I am now ready to share mine without the added, well, guess what Beck did? Because again, That is not what this is about. But you've already told us so many different things that they supposedly did, and you're saying that they're lying and exaggerating. After sharing what I did in last night's stream, bawling my eyes out and sharing my truth that doesn't exist, I actually feel lighter or better. I feel okay. My mental health has been so bad that it has been actually scaring me, and I realize now it's because of the silence. She always blames BPD, mental health. Don't believe anything you say, Amber. I have been holding on to so much that wants to be let out gracefully. Well, I don't think gracefully is going to happen, so I'm going to allow myself to do that. Remember, live streams are always held on Tuesday nights, but if I plan on going live before that, I'll be sure to let you know. I hope to see you there. Warning, there'll be lots of tears. Nobody cares. I'm not even reading the rest of this. I mean, it's very sad that you don't understand that you should not be monetizing your side of the story because you were the mistreater and Beck wasn't. I could continue to go on and on about this, but this is just disgraceful, Amberlynn. It is. You want to be graceful? This is disgraceful. And if I were you, I'd already quit while you were ahead. Look, at the end of the day, well, she's not really ahead, but point is, I'd quit now before you can never, ever, ever regain anything. You mistreated many partners. Everybody has the same story. Beck has a similar story to Casey, okay? When you were being broken up with, ex-Tommy said that you were going to ruin her life. Come on. It's all the same thing. You're the same person. You haven't changed. Anyways, this is disgraceful, Amberlynn, to be paid $10 a month to tell your side of the story that you remember differently. Okay, so Amber's clearly spiraling because after this, she wrote this. Thank you, everyone, for the feedback. I appreciate the opinions and what everyone has to say. It seems like many people are upset with me willing to break my silence behind a paywall instead of doing it publicly. Yeah. So I have decided I will be doing public live streams. After all, I can see how doing it behind a paywall loses the authenticity. Also, this is obviously doesn't take away from my Tuesday night live streams with Stream Queens. It just means extra live streams, and then you will be seeing me a lot sooner than you think, so you can get extra, super chats and money. Here's what it is. In general, I would say that this, I guess, in like, it's like being between a Kermit and a hard place. You know what I'm saying? Like what is it? Nothing is better. But I will say this, Amberlynn, you only changed your mind not to do this behind a paywall because you were told that what you were doing was inappropriate. So it didn't come from you authentically, since you love the word authenticity so much. Like, I could understand if her original response was, all right, I am going to do a public live stream like she supposedly wanted to do originally in her members only stream. I'm just going to do a public live stream, immediately respond to everything, right? The bottom line in this situation is that she had to be told that that was inappropriate. Amber, everything's a cash grab. You have to be told what's right. Anyways, we're definitely doing a part 2 to this. I just don't want the video to be like 2 hours. So thank you so very much for watching today. I definitely appreciate you being here. Please make sure to subscribe to Casey's channel and Beck's channel. They will be linked down below. Thank you all so much for being here. Check out this other video that's popping up here on a similar topic. You may enjoy it. Let me know what you think about this video and the dislikes down below. Thanks for being here. I'll see you next time. Bye.